Welcome back, all you kings, queens, and in-betweens, to another video here on the channel. It's another Should You Watch, but we're a little behind on this one. And that is the anime currently airing in the fall 2024 anime season, and that is DanMachi Season 5, or probably better known as Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 5. But this one starts off with an interesting concept. If you're not caught up, then you'll probably be lost, or even if you are caught up, you'll probably be lost because stuff just comes out of nowhere to start off this season. And I don't know. I just spent a good chunk of the episode just looking at Elaine going, did we know that already? Because we've been watching this for a while. I mean, I guess we started watching it like a year ago, so we should have relatively good enough memories of what's happened. But the stuff that was being mentioned seemed like stuff that they were just saying as known knowledge, but I felt like it wasn't known knowledge. Yeah. So it seems a little random. I feel like we're missing something out of the light novels that didn't get adapted. But so far, it starts off with an interesting premise on like a hidden backstory to Seer, one of the waitresses at Mama Nacaroni's bar that they go to all the time, and she's the one with the gray hair who's not a cat. Yeah, she's not a cat.
She's not a cat.
She's the one with the gray hair that's not a cat. She's not an elf. She's just a person, or maybe not a person. We don't know now. We thought she was a person. She might not be a person, but she asks Bell Cranel, the titular person, asking if it's wrong to pick up a girl in a dungeon, I guess, out on a date. And we get a little amusing segment where he is getting trained by one of Seer's people, like part of the Freya familia, who we are just learning that she's a part of. I feel like it was never mentioned before.
Well, more like associated with. I don't know if she's a full-fledged member.
Well, they called her their patron, which is the thing that confused me, because originally I thought that they were saying that she was Freya, and I'm like, that doesn't seem correct. But then they have a scene where her and Freya are in the same room, and I'm like, well, okay, they can't be the same person. They're in the same room. But
or maybe they're split personality. Maybe it's all a masked ruse by the developers, and it's really one person talking to herself.
You know, that actually was a thought that popped into my head when that scene showed. It was like, maybe she's like the mortal form of Freya or something. I don't know. We don't know. But one of the Freya Familia members trains Belle to be like the ultimate ladies' man and to treat somebody well on a date. And that was amusing. That's the most amusing thing we've gotten on this show, I'd say, in a season and a half, because I did not find much of last season amusing.
I did not like last season.
And we've gotten a decent amount of Hestia in the first episodes that we've watched, which is why I watched the show. And we have a rather sexy ending theme that has a Freya being all sexy fertility goddess kind of thing. So also another reason to watch the show. We're gonna get a lot of Freya this season. Beyond that, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know if we're gonna get plot. Are we gonna get a self-contained story that has nothing to do with the grand plot? I'm assuming we're gonna get big plot because Freya's involved and she's like the big bad as much as we've gotten a big bad. So I'm hoping for plot. I'm hoping 5 seasons in we get progress. So what do you think?
I would agree. I think the main thrust, which seems to be this sort of love story or at least longing on Seer's part for Belle, came out of left field. I feel like she's a character that appeared a lot in season 1 and her screen time has slowly declined for the most part since season 1. And in season 1, she was painted as this helpful figure who would, give Belle food, and she was nice. And it seemed like they had a budding friendship, and that's all this relationship was. And now we're being told, actually, she probably might, we're not really sure, she's not sure, has feelings for Belle. And I feel like it doesn't make sense. Now, if we look at last season, which had a large focus on Ryu and Belle, and we had Rio looking back on her time with Belle, and she's like, hey, maybe I feel something because of all this time we spent together. I want to explore that. I'd be like, okay, that makes sense to me. You had a lot of screen time. You had this really harrowing experience with Belle. You can explore whether or not those feelings you're having are things that are just arising out of all this tension or actual feelings for the person you spent all this time with and went through this experience with. you know, if it's a romantic thing or if it's just a friendship. That would be interesting to me. That would make sense.
It also would justify them putting us through that.
This makes no sense. I don't know where this came from. I kind of forgot she existed, if I'm being completely honest. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen her for a while.
Well, I mean, we didn't see anybody who was outside of the dungeon in the entirety of last season. And last season,
did.
Barely.
I mean, we did, but barely.
And because we spent 24 episodes, which is double the length of any other season, just down in the dungeon the whole time. And
pretty much.
I realized that this show about dungeons kind of needs some not dungeon time. And I think we're going to get some not dungeon time for a little while. After we were complaining that there was no dungeon in season, what was it, 2?
Yeah.
2 and 3, we were like, there's not enough dungeon. And then season 4 is like, you're in the dungeon the whole time. Feel it.
Be in the dungeon.
And we're like, no, please let us see the sun. And I don't know. I want to see where it's going, and I want to see the Freya's Familia's effect on the main group. We also got the funny realization where, again, I looked to Elaine after something was said, because Hestia said that she had never met Seer in person, and Seer is at Mama Macaroni's all the time. And you know, if you get the reference down in the comments, you get bonus points. But she's at Mama Macaroni's all the time, and Hestia's like, I don't think I've ever met her in person. And then I had to think back. I was like, does Hestia never go to the bar with them?
I thought she went at least once, to be honest.
Maybe that was the one time that Seer wasn't there, because like I can't picture in my head her going to the bar. But I don't know. I'd have to look back, and I don't think it's worth it. But interesting thought on it. If you're caught up, sure, give it a shot. Watch it. The voice acting is usually pretty good. We watched the dub. I don't know what the sub sounds like. I assume it sounds like Japanese. We watched the dub. And I enjoy most of the voices. You get to hear Deku and Ochako talk to each other a lot. So, you know, that's like, if you like MHA, then you get some flashbacks there. If you're not caught up and you have not watched season 4, if you're asking yourself, should I watch season 4 to catch up so I can watch season 5? It does not justify that. Do not do that to yourself.
You're welcome.
Yes. We will tell you one day if it reaches that level where if you have finished season 3 and the OVA at the end of season 3 and are debating if you want to watch season 4 so you can watch season 5, we will let you know. Don't do it to yourself ahead of time. Don't worry. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Something you should do, though, is ask Elaine if she wants to watch the rest of the season, because I didn't ask you. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting premise. I just don't think it makes sense at all. I'm intrigued. I want to know where this is going. I just am like, what are we doing right now? I need to know, Jeremy. I need to know.
We need to know, and that means we are both going to continue watching it, because honestly, we're probably the preeminent DanMachi content creators on the site. I don't think any single channel has made this many DanMachi videos. And now we just added one, because now we're doing a first impression, and we're going to probably do a season one. I mean,
we're crazy.
And the OVA, I'm sure there's an OVA. So
there's going to be an OVA and a movie.
Yeah. Will it have mushrooms in it? We don't know. Yeah. So something that will always have mushrooms in it is should you watch content here on the channel. Spot them. Bonus points. Again, with the Mama Macaroni thing. Comment down below. Let us know, where do you want us to keep the mushrooms? Just tell us in the download, though, so we'll hide them, and you'll be the only one who knows where they are. Also, let us know what you want us to watch. Recommendations. Things to steer clear of. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this content going forward, and ring that bell so you know what's up. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.